Well, hello, loves. How are you today? Happy Tuesday, June 9th. June 9th. Can you believe it? June 9th. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. So far, a good week. It's just started. But I'm happy to be here and I'm glad that you are joining myself and Diego, who is always behind the scenes. He's the wind beneath our wings. You gotta love him, don't you? Hi, Robin. Good to see you. Um, so I will tell you. Hi, Katie. Good to see you as well. So I will tell you. Um, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'm following the comments as I check my phone really quickly and let's see. Okay, so all right, so what's happening? I'm getting ready to go to Montana to do some fly fishing. Yes, I will have waders on and a full fisherman's vest. My husband has even prepared a little fly box. He's bought me every piece of equipment necessary for any form of fly fishing, most of which I have no idea what to do with. But I'm super excited. I love being on or near water. I've learned to fly fish last year with him when we went to the Yellowstone area. And so we're going back to a different part of Montana and going to do some more fishing. So I'm excited. It's just something new and fun. And anymore, I love trying new things and new adventures and not limiting myself in what I think I can or can't do. Now, granted, I it doesn't mean I want to go diving off of some, huge mountainside or zip lining off of, the highest bridge possible. Um, I do still have some parameters and some limits, but fishing, fly fishing, those things are not one of them. So I'm excited to do that. Yeah, still a newlywed. It's a year and a half for us, actually, that we've been married. This last weekend was a year and a half. So, yeah, we did it. We've made it so far. It's interesting having a second marriage when you're older. There's a part of me that feels like, it's just been, it feels like I've been with him forever. And yet it feels like it's been hardly any time at all when I think about, the idea of I can't wait till I can say, hey, we've been married 20 years or Lord willing, 30 years, however long the Lord gives us, we'll take it. So let's see. Hi, Adam and Monica. Yeah, Monica, our coaching session was really wonderful. And you're on Instagram, you guys. I had a coaching with Monica Layton. She's super interesting, you guys. Travels a lot, does a lot of solo travel to various places, but Italy is one that she especially loves. You guys go give her a follow on her Instagram. And Monica, if you would put in the comments what your Instagram name is. You guys go follow her, not only because it would be great to support her as she's venturing out into the social media world, but her content is really interesting because she speaks multiple languages and she has traveled to Italy, knows a lot of great recommendations for where you can take classes or you can go and study Italian, and some just beautiful content that she's already created to go with her travels. So follow Monica on her Instagram, and I really think you'll love the content that she's building. She also has something interesting where she's done one of her recent posts was a monologue that she did in four different languages, and it was very interesting the difference that each language made, the various inflections and style with which the language itself kind of changed the nuance of the scene. Um, yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So you guys give Monica Layton a follow, Monica, if you want to put your name, um, your Instagram name in the comments, that'd be great. Let's see. Hi, William from New Orleans. A few weeks. Yeah, it's good to see you. You'll be in Montana from July 13th through the 23rd. We will just be missing each other. I'll be back and then getting ready to go to Tennessee by then. Um, yeah, Grace, I didn't ever think fly fishing would be something I could do or necessarily would do. But I married this wonderful man, and that's a passion of his. He's been fly fishing for 40 years. And thankfully, I really do. I really, really love being on the water, near the water, in the water. And so I had told him from the beginning, even if I'm just sitting on the side watching you fish, I'll be content. But there was really no reason for me not to try to learn it and learn something. And it turns out I okay at it, and I think I can get better and challenge myself. And yeah, it just something new to do, and it's a good physical thing. So it's nice to have something you can do where you're getting some, physical exertion and exercise, but it doesn't feel like exercise because you're doing something fun. So, hi, Kathy from Ohio. Let's see. Betty, you've never been fishing at all. Well, I'll try to take some pictures or some video and share it with you. Let's go bungee jumping. Charles, you go first, okay? You send me the video and then I'll think about it. Oh, that's funny. Um, hey, Susan, good to see you. I'm glad you're with us. Monica says she's not sure what her Instagram is, but try Monica Layton, Laton, or Act Ritora 007. So just look her up, Monica Layton, Layton. You'll find her. Let's see. Aaron, you have a specific question related to a job you work today. Awesome. Can't wait. Let's see what you have. We have a big job shooting at Motor City Casino in Detroit, and they booked all principals from New York or LA, and all background was local. What's the reason a production would do this instead of tapping local talent for principal? There's a couple of reasons. It depends on who their casting director was or where the producers are from. Sometimes if the producers or the director are from somewhere outside of the Detroit area and they have their faves they like to work with, or people they owe favors to, or whatever the reason being, they want to bring in their own people. That's one reason. People they maybe have worked with in the past that they know if it's a particularly complicated shoot or they're short on time, they know, hey, I know these actors can give me what I need in a timely manner. And so they just feel comfortable working with people maybe that they know or that the casting director knows. Um, so, and I am really sorry to say this, but I have to be honest. Oftentimes, especially if you're working with directors or producers who aren't local to where the project is shooting, there can be a perception that talent from one of the bigger markets is somehow going to be better. Depending on the market, that can actually be true. you have more to choose from when you go to the bigger markets. Not that Detroit is a small market, but certainly smaller than Atlanta or New York or LA. So it could be that what they needed was more specialized, and so they weren't finding what they wanted in the audition process for the local talent. So there's a lot of different reasons that that can happen. But as much as I wish it weren't true, there is often a preconceived idea that actors from these bigger markets are going to be better or more experienced, and therefore they feel like they can get what they need. There's less risk um, with less experienced talent. So again, I'm not saying that's a true statement. I'm just saying that it is often right or wrong. It is often the perception. Um, okay, let's see. Zach, I'm just starting in acting. What are your recommendations? Zach, that's a very loaded question and one that I can't really cover in this particular forum to a large extent, but you need to be studying the craft. You need to actually be studying and putting time and work into the craft of acting and understanding who you are as an actor. You need to be networking in the area, getting to know who's making the kind of content that you want to be making. You need to be getting your materials as strong as they can be, at least the things you have control over. So, getting good headshots, building your resume. You need to be, I would tell you to be self-taping constantly just to learn and to grow and to understand how that mechanism works. Self-tapes can help you in the beginning if you don't have other media to show, you don't have a reel. I would tell you to reach out and seek mentorship um, or learning from others who have more experience. And you have so much at your fingertips available through things like masterclass or behind the scenes interviews with actors on films, and even listening to like the director's track on a film gives you a lot of insight as to what a director was thinking about in a certain scene or why they made certain creative choices that they made, which helps you just understand the craft overall. But there's steps that are like just the ABCs of what you need to do to practically get yourself set up so you can start submitting yourself, so you can try to get some opportunities so you can build your resume. But then there's the prepping of it, which is the craft, the learning, the practicing, the doing, which you don't just sit back and wait for someone to give you the opportunity. You need to be doing monologues, doing scenes, working with friends or in a class. You need to be practicing self-taping. That's something for everybody. Just honestly, you should be doing at least a self-tape a week. That's just meant for learning, for pushing, for growing, for trying new things. Yeah, there's just no reason not to. There's a lot more. My past Tuesday night talks live on the YouTube page. So you can go to my YouTube page, Beverly Holloway, and under the live tab will be all of our Tuesday or most of our Tuesday night sessions. And Zach, you can go and watch those or kind of click in and out to learn some things, because probably almost every one of those talks about a topic that would be of interest for you as far as the learning and where you start. There's great books you can read. Sarah Lejeune, I've shown this one before. Um, I don't know where it is. This happened last time. I was looking for her book, and I don't know what I did with it or where I put it. Oh, here it is. Book, The Beginning Actor's Guide. You can get it on Amazon, so you can try that if you wanted to. Um, there's lots of books available that you can read about the craft of acting, about the business of acting. There is no reason that you can't keep yourself busy with new information, learning, networking with other people, self taping for yourself, seeking out mentorship and guidance from other people, um, being a part of conferences or other gatherings if there's a gathering that meets in your city. So, yeah, there's lots to do. Lots to do. You can be as busy as you're willing to be, Zach. But I wish you the very best. It can be a lot of fun. Hi, Ben. Good to see you. Ben is one of Diego's Anthem clients. I love that. Let's see, Katie. Sometimes I notice that audition due dates get pushed back or the breakdown closes and then reopens. Other times I notice that auditions go out in waves. Why does this happen from casting's perspective and from an actor's perspective? Does it typically mean that you're not what they are looking for if the breakdown deadline keeps getting pushed back or they continue to send out more waves of auditions? Okay, I think I know what you're saying. So a breakdown went out and you submitted for it, and you may or may not have been asked to audition based on your submission. And then time goes by, you don't hear anything. Um, and then you see that same role come out again in a new breakdown. So what that does mean could mean a couple of things. Either the parameters for the role have changed, meaning maybe initially they thought they were going for red-haired Caucasian, and then as other cast members were coming into focus or creative conversations were taking place, the director said, you know what, I really want to shift that. And I really think I'd love someone who's like Native American or someone who's Pacific Islander, something like that. In which case, if I put out a breakdown for red-haired Caucasian and now they're saying, you know what, I've changed my mind, it means I have to put out a new breakdown for that role with the new parameters. So sometimes maybe it's not an ethnicity change, maybe it's an age change or a widening of the age range. It could be that initially the role was put out as local hire only, and then after exploring the local hire options, found that there wasn't the right fit. So now we're opening it up to a broader submission, or the reverse. Oftentimes, I will put out a breakdown with roles that in the beginning were open to people from anywhere in the country. But as we start to cast roles, the pie of money, the kitty of money for traveling people in and doing housing and per diem and those things gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it's finally all used up. And that's when the line producer comes to me, the producer comes to me and says, we have no more travel budget. It's all used up. So all these roles now have to be local hire only. And that's something that we wouldn't necessarily have known in the beginning, because when we put the breakdown out in the beginning, we don't really know exactly how that pie is going to get divided, how that overall budget is going to get divided. We have an idea of what our priorities are and some places where we believe we're going to probably spend a little bit more here, a little less here. but it's a very organic thing until we start actually locking in cast members, and so much can change. So that's another reason that we'll put out a fresh breakdown on a roll. And then sometimes it is exactly what you're saying, which is we put out a breakdown, we went through it, we saw the people that came through that round of submissions, and we're just not finding it. We're just, that director's just not finding what they want. So we put it out again to see if, there are other people who maybe didn't submit the first time, or maybe somehow we missed. It could also happen where the production dates change, because if the production dates change, say the production date shifts by a month, well, people who weren't available before might be available under these new dates, and vice versa. So those are probably the main reasons why you would see a breakdown go out more than once for the same role. But the bottom line is, yeah, for whatever reason, for any of those reasons, we haven't yet found what we need for that role. So we're putting it out again. Let's see. Oh, Robin, thank you. Moni Layton, at Moni Layton is Monica Layton's Instagram. So let's see. Susan, I wanted to ask about AA profiles, Actors Access profiles. What are your thoughts on best use of the professional biography section after credits? I currently have info that fits nowhere else on my resume: military veteran, valid passport, expiration date, etc. So it depends. It depends on what is priorities for you specifically, and it can be different for different people. So people that I've coached with, I've often told them, so I have several people I've coached with who are coming from the theater world. So you look at their resume and they have a page full of theater credits, but no TV film credits at all. They've been doing theater and that's been their exclusive focus, and they're now shifting. So oftentimes I feel it's important for them to create a brief bio in that section that kind of explains that this is an actor. You can put it in the first person, or third person, however you want to write it, but basically explaining, after years of exclusively pursuing theater, Susan Willis is now making the shift to TV and film. And what that tells me is, okay, look at her theater credits in case I hadn't noticed them. And that this is an active decision that you've made. And it kind of explains to me why you don't have any TV film credits, because in your bio, I can see you haven't really pursued TV film. So it's not like you don't have any credits because no one wants to hire you in TV film. It's because you haven't really pursued that part of the business. So I think it can be important to write a brief little bio that explains that and helps us understand why there might be a void in credits. I think the same is true for someone who, again, I have other coaching clients who did acting in their younger years, and sorry, that's just my husband, who did acting in their younger years, took a break to raise children, focus on family, and now they're coming back to acting after 10, 15 years of being out of it. And so I think it's helpful. Again, if you're looking, so you're now 40 years old, you're going back into acting after doing it in your early 20s. Well, there's going to be other 40-year-olds who have pages of TV film credits. You won't. So I think the bio can help us understand why that is. To say, pursued TV film, in my early 20s or got a degree in acting or got a degree in theater, whatever the case might be, took a break to raise my children and focus on family. And I'm now coming back into the industry with a strong passion and excitement about pursuing, this passion. So it helps me just to know. So if you're one of those, I think that little bio section can be really helpful to give us a brief understanding or clarification about something. I think being like military veteran, I think that is a great place to mention something like that. Or if you really have a very high proficiency in some sort of skill set or discipline. So I coached with someone who in high school was a competitive level tennis player. So rather than just in the paragraph of special skills checking off tennis, you can in the bio explain I was a competitive level tennis player. That's different than, yeah, I can hit a ball. I can hit a tennis ball with a tennis racket. So I think it's good to highlight positives or to highlight something that makes you unique or special, or to explain something that might might be a question mark for us. Like I said, if there's a break in years or a lack of credits, why is that? And what happened there? So that's what I think. That's how I think that should best be used. I don't know that we need, unless you have nothing else to say, I don't know that we necessarily need to use that space for valid passport with expiration date. I mean, you could put it in there, but if you're going to submit for a project that shoots internationally, like in my breakdowns, I always put must have valid passport, must have, like if it's someone from another country and they're talking about working here, must have US work papers. So by submitting, you're basically saying, I have those things. So you can list valid passport expiration date. You can list that. I just think that's kind of wasting precious space for something that could be far more interesting. That could go under miscellaneous information or in the top where it's your height and eye color, that kind of thing. You could just put, valid US passport expiration, whatever, and not take what I feel like is more prime real estate in that bio spot. Hopefully that answered your question. Let's see. Hi, Jeannie. How are you? Good to see you. We had the same issue in Miami with only getting background or principal roles. Not sure how it is now. And hi. Yeah, I it just is the reality. There is a perception that going to a bigger market means you're going to get more experienced talent. And that is a little bit of a catch 22, right? Because if they keep giving the larger roles to talent outside of that market, then you're perpetuating this idea that the people outside of that market, that local market, have more experience with more significant roles because you keep giving them to the people outside of the local market. But you know what? We, being a fantastic local actor, is always something we're looking for. Always. It's a blessing when we find someone in a local market who is great. And it's like, awesome, great. That's money we can move to another place where we don't have to fly someone in and travel them in. So if you're great, you're going to stand out no matter what, and local or not. So, yeah, be great. Just be great. Let's see. William, I'm redoing my IMDb Pro site and wonder what images should I include on that section, headshots, character roles, other. Um, on IMDb, I'm going to say this for all of you guys on your Actors Access, on your IMDb. I don't need 20 shots. Honestly, it's especially for Actors Access, it's too much. It feels very commercial and less theatrical if you're doing all of the on the nose character shots. Um, and again, if commercials are a big piece of what you do and you're very active commercially, then of course, I'm not saying don't do what you need to do for your commercial agent or what they want. But as far as theatrical goes, when I pull up someone's the profile and Actors Access or Breakdown Services, and there's literally 20 pictures, I don't I don't really need that many. Um, IMDb Pro, in my opinion, isn't necessarily the place for a million headshots. I think you should have maybe 4 or 5 unique, different headshots, good headshots, strong headshots. But I think IMDb is also where you could put the shot of you on the horse or pictures of you on set, working, being present, um, doing the job. So I would encourage you, to take those pictures, although the big asterisk is many productions don't allow you to take pictures and then just post. There are most often, um, very strict protocols on taking your own photography and what you post, and it needs to be approved before you can post anything if you're going to show anything and reveal like the title of the project. Now, you can be more nebulous, blur out the specific actors' faces, or, show the monitor, but kind of blur the action within the screen itself. So we see that you're on set, we see that you're working, but you're not revealing the title of the production or the actors that are in it. Interesting kind of shots like that can show that you are working. But if you have another skill set like riding a horse, or playing guitar, something like that, and you can include a little bit of that on your IMDb, I would. Um, it's less about 20 headshots and more about, I think, and this is just me, but more about kind of understanding a little bit more of the different skills and things you bring to the table and your different experiences on set, showing that you're working. Um, yeah. And then your social media goes even farther with regards to, doing horse riding videos or doing a song on the guitar on your Instagram. That's what I was saying to Monica Layton, which was using her Instagram to show that she speaks different languages, that she's a traveler, that she understands different cultures. Her social media is a way for me to better understand who she is and those things that influence her as an actress. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. Let's see. Aaron says the director is a Detroiter, so I'm not sure if it was up to him or not. Detroit didn't even get the breakdown for Principal. Yeah, I can't really tell you then. I mean, I listing the various reasons why it happens. I don't know specifically on this one, but somebody somewhere thought they needed to just bring people in. Maybe it was faster, maybe it was a last minute thing. That's another thing that happens. So if it's a last minute, like you get the gig and they're going to be shooting in a week, then you just go to people you know. You go to people you've used, that you've worked with, and you just bring them in and get them there. So maybe it was a very, very short timeline and they didn't have time to do a traditional casting. I don't really know that specific reason. Adam, got some amazing news I wanted to share. Good. I was in a film last year with Kevin Pollak, and it releases this Friday. Awesome. Not faith based. It's a gritty suspense thriller. Ooh, that sounds fun. And my scene is with Kevin Pollak. It was amazing. Limited release starting the 12th. Just wanted to share Time of Death. Well, awesome. That sounds so interesting. And congratulations, Adam. That's great. And let me tell you guys, anytime that we are casting someone to work opposite one of our high level actors or name actors or, well known um, actors, iconic actors who are really, really experienced, we cast very carefully anybody who is going to be working directly with that actor, because we need to make sure that they aren't going to be intimidated, that they'll hold their own. We need to be sure that they're people who know how to be professional on set and aren't going to like hound the stars for selfies and this and want to talk their ear off and not be respectful of their time and their boundaries. And so we are very mindful and very careful when we're casting someone to work opposite a name actor or a well-known actor. So that says even more, Adam. Kudos to you, because we there's a lot of scrutiny for those actors who are going to work directly across from our more established quote unquote star actors. So good for you, Adam. So everyone, it comes out Friday. Time of Death, suspense thriller. I like suspense thrillers, so that's great. John Honey, I wondered that too. I'll submit a tape on AA, then come back and see the deadline was pushed out. So I wonder if they watched all the tapes for that role and didn't get what they needed. Was it for that role deadline? Sometimes the deadline's pushed simply because we got focused somewhere else on something that took up more time than we expected. And so we're pushing the deadline on this because we didn't get to it in the time we thought we would. But oftentimes it's because we're just not getting what we really need. And that's one of those things. There's just so many subtle nuances as to what it is that they might be looking for and why they felt the need to keep looking. Um, but yes, it usually means they just haven't quite found what they're looking for. Let's see. Hi, Jenny from Knoxville. That's wonderful. Let's see. Hello, David from OKC. Love it. Hi, Bob from Nashville. Susan, I asked on the passport since they removed it from the main area. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's other places you could put it. I just think there's probably more interesting things you could put in that little bio section. It's not going to hurt you if it's in that section. I just think there might be more interesting things you could put there. Let's see. Hi, Karen, Jenny. Aaron, so I need to move to LA to book back home. No, hang in there. Just hang in there. Just keep making your presence known. Keep doing really good work. It's not always going to be that way. And I know Detroit has had a little bit of a roller coaster. They were really hot at one time, and then it all kind of disappeared. Incentives changed. But I think they are trying to get some of that back. So just keep doing good work. Just keep doing good work. Let's see. Tommy, I put passport as its own section under training at the rock bottom. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Rhonda Lynn, yes. How about red carpet event pics? Yes, that's a great thing for IMDb. It just shows, again, it shows something different than a series of headshots. It shows you live in the wild, being a part of the industry as a whole. So, because red carpet pics are not appropriate in your headshots on your Actors Access profile or your breakdown services profile. But they can be great on your social media and in your IMDb. So that's a good example. Let's see. Tommy, currently in Caroline. Oh, opposite Kyle Gallner and Magnolia Pictures. Good for you. Good, Tommy. That's awesome. Congrats. Um, Adam, I played the part of a prison chaplain. Oh, that seems like a really good fit for you. That's wonderful. Monica says, my Instagram account says Actratora 007 and Monica Layton. Still working on her profile, posted 2 videos. Monica does have Facebook, by the way. So if any of you are still using Facebook, you can find her videos on Facebook too. But she's just starting to move everything over to and get going on Instagram. So let's see. Hi, Patrick. Rod. Okay, let's see. Rod Wolf. Hello, Rod. What are your thoughts on paying to get on a set with speaking a couple lines in a faith-based film? JC Films, which I believe is Dean Cain's production, is advertising this to be in a faith-based film, but you need to pay the big bucks and you get an IMDb credit too. Rossetti Productions did this last year as well for a film with Kevin Sorbo that never got made. Just curious about what your thoughts are on paying to get on set to act. No disrespect to those filmmakers and their approach and what they're doing. That's not how I would prefer to work, and that's not how I would go about casting a film. I understand why they're doing it. I understand that it can feel like a win-win because they need the money in order to finance the film just to get it made. And people are looking for opportunities to get on set and to have those choices. I'm always going to advocate for casting out and looking for the very best actors for a role because the quality of the film is really important. And yeah, it's not the approach that I take, but I'm not meaning to disrespect or speak ill will of anybody who takes that approach. It's just not. It's not an approach that I would choose to take or would be a part of. So, but that's for me. That's just for me. Let's see. Any idea how to get Getty Images pics? You have to buy them. Getty Images, you have to pay for them. So you just go to the Getty Images website, search for whatever the event was, or search by name if they have you in there by name, and you have to pay for them. Let's see. Monica, there's another Monica Layton, and she is an actress also making posts in Italian. That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay. Let's see. Off to knock out a rush VO. Let's do it midnight. Go, Aaron. Go. You'll be great. Let's see, John. So I've nearly always taped on a gray or blue background. I see some Instagram actor accounts showing self-tapes that are basically fully produced on a beach because the scene is on a beach, literally one on a horse, or in a living room, on the couch, the kitchen. What are we thinking about this? If it's obviously a scene that it takes place over the sink in a kitchen and you have an easy way to do that, sure. I don't mind it. I don't think you need it. And I sometimes doing all of that can be a distraction to the actual acting. You sometimes it's too much details and too much thought and planning going into, okay, I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to pick this up and then I'm going to do this. And And that can distract from just great acting. But if the scene takes place in on a couch and you're just having a conversation with another person with a cup of coffee in your hand, sitting on a couch, then sure, film it sitting on your couch. If you have, the right lighting and you'll look good and you'll sound good, that's fine. But it's not necessary. I don't know that that's edging out anybody else, because I've gotten tapes like that where someone did the outside scene and the sound is horrible because they did it outside, but they didn't think about the fact that, there's outside noise and traffic and airplanes. And so it actually becomes a distraction. So I just think you have to be really careful about it. But if it's a simple setup, something that's easily accomplished in the setting you have, then go for it. But it's not necessary. Let's see, Darla. Yes, JC Films is currently charging $1,500 for a guaranteed walk-on role to the film they're starting production on. Expensive. Yeah, it's a different approach. Again, I'm not gonna to I'm not gonna speak negatively. They have their approach. It's not the way I would choose to do casting. But you know, that's why they do them, and I'll do me. So let's see. Monica says, I'll see what I can do about my profile. I may have opened 2 accounts. Maybe there's lots of Monicas around there. Patrick, how much do you really pay attention to the production of the audition tape? We don't, compared to the performance itself. Heard some say it doesn't matter and it's all about the performance. It is. And then I've heard some say the best camera, sound, lighting, and backdrop is crucial. Thoughts? Well, I think a basic audition tape should a basic professional audition tape that puts you and presents you in a professional light. And when I say professional, I don't mean that you've gone somewhere and paid at a studio for a setup or paid someone to come in and do your filming. I don't mean that. I mean professional as in the way it comes across and the way that it looks. You need to have great lighting because we need to see you, and you shouldn't, look yellow or jaundiced because you have weird lighting in the corner of the room you're in. Like, the lighting needs to be good, the sound needs to be good, and you need to be aware of the background that you have. Like, I would never do an audition tape with all this behind me. This just happens to be where my desk is and where I'm working and what I have behind me in my office. But if I were doing an audition tape, I wouldn't have this behind me because that's not professional looking. So, I would have the option to close the doors, or just hang up a piece of fabric or a pop-up background in the back. So yes, you do need certain minimal professional quality tools, but beyond that, you don't need anything else, because performance, it is all about the performance. But if you make a choice that causes us to miss the performance, or we're distracted by bad sound, or distracted by a weird shadow that's on your face because the lighting is bad, or crazy background that's just distracting overall, then you've lessened the quality of that presentation. But have those great basic tools, have it look good, sound good, be pretty much free of crazy distractions, and then do a great performance so that we see the performance. So that's what our eyes and ears are paying attention to, and we're not getting distracted by something else around you that's preventing us from really taking in the performance. At the end of the day, it is about the performance, but you can cloud your own performance with a bad quality tape. Okay. But those tools are not out of touch as far as how you can get them and how expensive they are. Those tools are really easily, I mean, Amazon, you can get everything you need for a price that's a very small investment, and it just doesn't take much at all to be able to eliminate those other concerns or other things that might be a negative, and let it be all about your performance. So Dawn, I used a hotel bed sheet over a closet door when you were on the, absolutely. That works too. So um okay guys, I am going to actually run for tonight. It's really good to see you. I remember that Adam's film comes out on Friday, and um, I have a busy week ahead. I will be here on Tuesday. We don't leave for our trip until after that. So I will be back on Tuesday, and keep your questions, think of them, write them down, put them on a little post-it note so that when we come back on Tuesday, we can talk about more, or you can always um, send an email about something you want us to talk about. If there's a broader subject, feel free to email Diego and say, hey, can we cover this? Or I'd really like to talk about this area. I'm always happy to hear what topics and things will be of interest to you and will be beneficial to you. So, yeah, love you guys. Good. This feels like it was a really quick one, although it's kind of our normal time, but I appreciate you. I appreciate coming together and just being able to spend time with you. You guys just always do my heart good. And I end up leaving Tuesday night, ending Tuesday night on such a positive, just because of the opportunity to get to hang with you a little bit and to just connect. So I'm excited for your victories, and happy to be on this journey with you. So I hope you have a great week, and let us know what you want us to be talking about or what you want us to cover. And I will see you again next Tuesday. All right. Love you guys. Bye.